2015 YZF R1.
One of the most technologically advanced motorcycles ever produced. And I'll talk about it, what makes it that way. So the styling itself was certainly inspired by the M1, which is just behind us over here. In fact, we did a lot of market research where we took the M1 style, stripped the body or the graphics off of it, and what we found was people were really wanting M1 style, but kind of next generation. So that's what we did with this bike. We kind of took the M1 to the next generation and put it in a production bike styling, really focusing on minimalizing the bodywork. And from a design standpoint, not just technical standpoint, but from a design standpoint, really trying to centralize a lot of the mass of the design in the middle of the bike, really accentuating the legendary Yamaha handling. At the heart of the bike is an all-new cross-plane crankshaft inline 998cc engine, 4-cylinder. So the layout is very, very similar to what's found on the M1. And what's important to also note is this isn't a warmed over R1. Our engineers were given the freedom to design from the ground up. They weren't constrained to take in the previous R1 engine and try to get more power out of it. It's from the ground up, white paper, an all new, fresh design. So it's got first ever on a production bike fracture split titanium rods, as well as titanium intake valves. 13-to-1 compression ratio. That's usually something we find on our motocross bikes. Very, very high compression ratio. It also has the offset cylinders, 2 millimeters to the front. The cylinders offset from the crank. Also new for us on an R1 is rocker arm valve actuation. And so what this is allowing us to do, and after we're done here, you can come up and see, it's actually on this side, you can see the rocker arms. It's basically taking the benefit of lever ratios on the rocker arm to achieve a larger valve lift than what you can achieve just simply from the cam, and also more aggressive cam profiles due to the larger footprint of the follower. So that's a new feature for our engines. Also the engine, in terms of its overall layout, we wanted to make it as, of course, compact and light as possible. That's always a goal. But starting from scratch, it's really allowed us to achieve that. It's 1.2 inches narrower at the crank ends, side to side. So an inch doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at this bike and everything that's crammed into a package this small, an inch is pretty amazing how they could shave an inch off of the width of this bike. Also, aluminum bolts throughout the engine, just a little bit of weight here and there always helps. A reduction of weight, I should say. Magnesium oil pan, magnesium head cover, magnesium side covers. So all of this effort, the more compact size, makes this engine 9 pounds lighter than our previous R1 engine. So pretty significant decrease in weight there. The chassis itself, of course, is all new. The whole bike is all new. But the frame, the big focus here was not just for the frame, but for the whole bike, keeping it as narrow as possible. So the narrower engine, of course, allows for a narrower frame, which then, of course, allows for a narrower body. So I didn't talk before, I skipped over it about the style of the front face. I'll go back and talk about it now, because if you can get the bodywork more narrow, it's going to go through the wind with less drag. So a big focus on the design of this bike was reducing the aerodynamic drag, making it more efficient. So as it relates to styling, the front face is a really, really big area of concern. In fact, our engineers worked directly with our MotoGP team on designing this and getting this front face and using a lot of what they learned on the M1 into this design. And that was why we decided to move the headlights down underneath and inside so we could make this front face as efficient as possible moving through the air. And so then again, also keeping the body on the sides nice and narrow is extremely important. We also have magnesium subframe and then aluminum fuel tank. So you can see it here on the M, which I'll talk about, but even on the R1, aluminum fuel tank. It's 5 pounds lighter than a steel version of that tank. So huge weight savings. The magnesium subframe, both these items that are, the farther away you get from the center of the mass of the machine, that weight is really noticeable when it comes to handling. So reducing the weight of these items that are away from the center of the mass is extremely important. Obviously, that has a huge effect. And then another feature that's typically not found on production bikes are cast magnesium wheels. So these are extremely, I think, cool factor for sure, not to mention the added benefit, of course, of less weight, but then also less rotational mass, less inertial moment. So all these features together have got this bike down to or actually at 199 kilograms or 439 pounds. That's fully fueled, wet weight, ready to hit the road. So I think, technically speaking, at least for me, this bike is pretty amazing. But what really gets me excited is the rider adaptive technology package that's in this bike. And this is what really brings it to the next level, and to some degrees beyond what's even out there today, in some cases even on the racetrack. It's got a first of its kind 6-axis inertial measurement unit, or IMU, and so this is combining a gyro as well as a G sensor. So the gyro is basically calculating pitch, roll, and yaw, and then the G sensor measuring acceleration forward, aft, left, right, and up, down. So it's taking all this information and communicating with all the rider adaptive technology features that I'm going to explain. First of all, traction control. So it certainly measures the differential in front or rear wheel speed, but now with this IMU, it's measuring the lean. So as the bike leans more and more and more, the effect of traction control is greater and greater. But along with traction control, something that's unique to Yamaha, and it's a patent pending technology, is slide control. So now that we have this gyro that can measure the yaw of the machine, as you're leaned over, accelerating out of the corner, and a slide begins to happen by the rear wheel, obviously it's measuring that yaw effect and also adjusting the power delivery. So it's not just traction control, it's also slide control. So it's certainly going to give you the best acceleration out of a corner. And this is something that directly came from our M1. It was only on our MotoGP bike for the last couple of years. So definitely MotoGP right to the street, right to the average customer. Along with those two features, we also have lift control. So it's going to measure the attitude of the bike. So if it's accelerating, it begins to lift the bike, obviously adjusting the power to correct that, along with the launch control. So when you're doing a standing start, at full wide open throttle limits the RPMs to 10,000. So you can get optimum acceleration away from the starting line. And then a quick shifter, so something that's typically in the past has been an accessory, it's already on the bike. So full throttle, wide open shifts without using the clutch or rolling off the gas. So altogether, certainly one of the most comprehensive, if not the most comprehensive, technology packages on a production bike. So one other mode I forgot to mention was the power adjustability mode. I mentioned it on the FJ, but you can adjust one of 4, in this case, power delivery modes for different street conditions or track conditions, different traction conditions, and so forth. So I think without a doubt this is truly bringing MotoGP technology to the masses. But if pure exclusivity is your game, then this is your answer, the all-new R1M.
If you want to see a complete walk around of the entire 2014 International Motorcycle Show in Long Beach, California, go ahead and click right here to see that video. Look at this. Look at my knee, all grinded down. How did that happen? Do you want to learn how to ride a motorcycle? Well, I want to show you how, and I've got a series on this channel.
We've got 4 Drift Innovation Ghost S cameras set up here for this. Upper left-hand corner is the shifter. That's your shift pedal, allowing you to change gears.
CRPT, Carlyle's Picks Rider Training Series, where I'm going to show you how to ride a motorcycle, and it's going to be fun, easy, fast, and it's going to be unlike any other video series that you've seen on how to ride a motorcycle. So definitely subscribe to Carlyle's Picks and Your Fast Life, and stay tuned for more.
There's over 900 more videos for you to check out right here and on my main channel, Carlyle's Picks. Also, check out the electric motorcycles, and don't forget I have plenty of car videos too.